Hello, and welcome to another edition of The Weekend. Nick Karski with you here.
That is so much creepier for the people who will be watching this as opposed to people who are listening to this.
For those that don't know, I am the angel of music.
Something like that.
A phantom. I don't know if I can actually say what I am, because, I mean, you never know. For some reason, I might actually get copyrighted for saying that I'm the Phantom, but I'm just going to keep it at that, the Phantom.
Right, and then for those of you who are listening, just piece together what that might mean inside your mind.
Happy Halloween!
What's up? Happy Halloween. I have no voice.
Yeah, it sounds like you have no voice. I would expect that's probably the case because you spent all of your time down at the magical Walt Disney World and got to hang out with Mickey and his friends, and I'm sure you got to partake in a lot of fun different things.
Yeah, it was a fun trip, all in all. I know we talked about it on the show last week, and happy we went, and it was nice and great Florida weather down there. Actually, a lot warmer than what you would expect to think of Florida in October, but I would take that over the cold weather we have in the Northeast right now. So
how was it overall? I mean, like in terms of all of the COVID stuff that's going on. I mean, was everything handled pretty well down there?
Yeah, like Jen and I knew going into it, like Disney was going to have their act together, and they certainly did. I mean, mask compliance was pretty much like in the upper 90 percentile, like the entire time we were there. So they were definitely on their game. It was just, humans being insert derogatory term here.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it was like there were some people who just chose to act a certain way, and we knew that was going to be an X factor too, but that did not all in all affect our trip. We tried to look past it.
Well, good Lord, the way that your voice is right now, you would think that you went through the Haunted Mansion like 38 times and was screaming like bloody murder or something, dude. Holy shit.
So that's actually the ride that scares Jenna. It doesn't scare me because, like, fun fact about that, if we're going down more Disney trivia like last week, when they were designing it, one Imagineer wanted to do it genuinely scary. One Imagineer wanted to do it like comically scary. So they literally took both of their ideas, put them together, and that's how you got this current version. So she doesn't like it because it does have a level of scare to it, but I'm not easily scared, which you might think differently by hearing my voice right now.
Speaking of scary, I didn't realize that Walt Disney World was so petrifying to Zensky.
Oh, God.
Was that Zensky celebrating Halloween and just, I don't know, trying to like scare the hell out of everybody, or were you riding rides and actually just screaming your bloody brains out?
I'm thoroughly embarrassed because I haven't listened. I didn't listen to that the full way through, and I probably should have. But here we are.
What the hell were you even on? What's gonna make you scream like that?
Well, if you can't tell by my, it's just that your gut reaction when you're on some of those rides. So, like, I think the vast majority of that sound clip was on Space Mountain, which, in case you don't know, is a roller coaster completely in the dark.
Oh yeah.
So that obviously has a level of scare to it, but you just want to enjoy yourself, and sometimes screaming at the top of your lungs.
You had the time of your life to celebrate Halloween just a couple of days early. Way to go.
That's right.
You sounded like you belonged in a movie, okay? That sounded like it belonged in a movie, especially with the soundtrack, okay?
And now Bailey wants to get in on the the yelling
I'd be
too.
scared out of my mind if I heard all that too. Wouldn't you?
Right.
Hey, let's take a look at... Go ahead.
No, that's all I got.
Okay, that's all you got. Let's take a look at what's happened over the course of the last week.
Here's what you missed.
Well, it wouldn't be Halloween if we didn't talk about Ghostbusters. And we have a thing on this channel for talking about Guinness World Records too. So
yeah, what is this? This is interesting.
I don't know. It's just it's a little fad of ours, I guess. We like supporting
No, not
Guinness.
necessarily the fact that we're talking about the Guinness Book of World Records again, but we're talking about a record. I saw the headline, but I didn't really look too deep into any of this, and just all I saw was Ghostbusters World Record, and it got me intrigued. I'm like, what the hell could this possibly be?
Well, so here's what's so intriguing about it. An Ohio man achieved a Guinness World Record by collecting 1,221 unique pieces of memorabilia from the Ghostbusters franchise. Robert O'Connor of Elyria, kind of looks like Elmira, told Guinness officials he first saw the original Ghostbusters movie when he was 4 years old, and it wasn't long before he started accumulating merchandise and has since collected, again, 1,221 pieces of branded items.
So we're talking about toys and shirts and everything like that, right?
Posters and tchotchkes and action figures.
Kidding.
And replica Ghostbuster mobiles and all that fun stuff. So, hey, good for you, Robert.
Look, if that's what you're into, so be it. I remember there was... this dates things back a little bit, but when the Simpsons movie first came out, the local paper here, did this huge article about the biggest Simpsons super fan in the Elmira Twin Tiers area, right? He was a kid, had his room completely decked out and devoted to The Simpsons, had what felt like hundreds of action figures, toys, DVDs, all of that stuff, right? He was the self-proclaimed biggest Simpsons fan in the area. Well, let me tell you something. When The Simpsons movie came out, I told my friends, look, we are going to make it a priority to not let that number one superfan be the first person in line when the movie comes out. And we are going to take the top spots and be the first people to see that movie and be the first people in line. And guess what I did with my friends? We were first in line.
Look at you go.
Just taking away that guy's mojo, that kid's mojo. So there's going to be somebody out there who's got just as much Ghostbusters stuff who's going to be trying taking away this dude's mojo, okay? It's a competition out there. Dog eat dog.
All you need is to one-up him. You need 1,222 pieces, and you will claim the right as Guinness World Record holder for Ghostbuster memorabilia.
You know what I found out maybe in the last week or so? You know why they call it the Guinness Book of World Records?
Why is that?
Because it used to actually be a Guinness beer book.
But how is that relevant to beer?
Because what they used to do, they used to call it the Guinness Book of Records, I believe. And basically what it would be, it was something that people could have at the bar and they could look it up. Bar talk, you're sitting there at the bar stool saying,
I
can only imagine how many, decks of cards somebody was able to stack up. Well, Let's
Right.
check the Guinness book and, turn to page 58 and see what it is.
Good for you, Guinness. I give you props for that. And speaking of The Simpsons, so I haven't watched The Simpsons yet. Have you watched The Office yet?
No.
Okay.
We'll get to
Just
it.
wanted to check in on
We'll
that.
get to it. We'll get to it. All right, what else do we got?
This one struck me funny. So, a homeowners association in Texas ordered the removal of a woman's strip club inspired skeleton display. A Texas woman said her strip club inspired Halloween display featured a seductively posed skeleton that raised the ire of her local homeowners association. This lady Angela received a letter from the HOA saying that there had been complaints filed about her, quote, inappropriate and offensively positioned Halloween decorations. Her rationale, which, I give her credit for this, we've all been cooped up and it's just been a terrible year, she said. We just decided if this brings a little bit of joy and a little bit of smiles to someone, then we're doing everything right. And you know what, Angela? You did exactly that.
Show him if you
Screw
got him.
the HOA, Angela.
Show him if you got him.
Show me. I don't think the skeletons have much to show, to be honest.
They barely have a lot to show.
You could say it's.
I don't know.
they're
That was a
showing the
really
bare
bad
bones.
joke, man. In my head, I thought it was awesome, and as soon as I said it, I'm like, nope,
No.
did not nail the landing whatsoever.
They're showing the bare bones would be better.
Yeah, that's what I kind of meant to go with, and if for some reason I didn't. It's the power
that's
of the
it.
Phantom Mask.
That's a 2.8 on the gymnast scale for you.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
But hey, I mean, good for you, Angela from Texas. We give you props for trying to bring a little bit of humor into this world right now. And rounding off the headlines for the week.
Whoa! I got another
What?
one. I got another one, but I can't say
Oh,
it.
you do?
No, I can't say it. I can't say it.
A joke?
I can't say it.
Say it. Come on.
Probably gave a lot of people a boner.
All right. And then
I'm sorry.
I think we need. No, it's fine. We need to preface this the third story of the week with a little bit of an alert. This is a Karski and Zensky rant incoming. Because we're talking about the World Series, and congratulations to the Los Angeles Dodgers, with the sole exception of Justin Turner. Screw you, Justin Turner.
Oh boy. So here's what I'm gonna say: the Dodgers, they played a heck of a series, winning that thing. Okay, like there's no question about it, winning it in 6 games. The Rays shot themselves in the foot. And what I will say, though, with this game, Game 6, it was theater from start to finish. Quite literally theater. You've got the best hitter for the Tampa Bay Rays starting the game off with a solo home run to right field, Randy Arozarena. You've got a former Cy Young pitcher in Blake Snell who goes 5+ innings and he looks absolutely brilliant because he's given up just 2 hits and 9 strikeouts. He gets taken out of the game because the analytic nerds say so, and so Kevin Cash looks like a moron. And then the Dodgers come all the way back. Mookie Betts has himself a game, and then the icing on the cake. It's not just the fact that the Dodgers win, and that's the theater in all of this. No. It's that we as a country are going through a national pandemic. And what does somebody do who got taken out of the game because they tested positive for COVID-19? They run back out onto the field to celebrate with their family and friends and their teammates and everybody else as if everything's okay. So basically, it's a direct parallel with how everything is going in the world today.
And a direct counter to everything that they're telling you not to do is don't gather in large group settings, especially if you know to be
Here's the thing, Zensky. Like, what frustrates me about this whole thing is that there are some people who are defending him and saying, yeah, but he won a World Series title and, that's never going to happen and everything like that. What's lost in that kind of argument is the idea that so many people in this world are missing out on milestones. Like winning the World Series, that's a milestone. But if you find out that you're COVID-19 positive and there's security or the team or somebody's trying to tell you, hey, like, sorry, man, don't go out there and celebrate, you actually have to listen, because people have missed milestone birthdays. People have missed milestone anniversaries. People have missed, I hate to be completely morbid about it, but funerals and services, and they can't even, be next to a loved one in a hospital bed because of this pandemic that we're in.
Right. And so everything that Justin Turner did was a direct insult to everybody whose milestones is so much more significant than a freaking World Series title. As much as you and I are baseball fans, I'm sorry, but like somebody's wedding anniversary or college graduation or any of the other things that you could list off of are going to transcend your championship. I'm sorry. So grow a pair, have public health in mind, and go back into the locker room, because all you did now was taint the title for the rest of your team.
Well, but here's the thing, and there are two things that stick out to me with this, and number one is, first and foremost, it sucks that his actions are taking away the celebration that the Dodgers, have essentially for winning a championship for the first time in 32 years.
And those who celebrated responsibly, right?
But the other thing that kills me is the fact that he tweeted out a couple of days ago, thanks to everyone reaching out. I feel great. No symptoms at all. Just experienced every emotion you can possibly imagine. Can't believe I couldn't be out there to celebrate with my guys. So proud of this team and unbelievably happy for the city of LA. # World Series champs. You were out there celebrating with your teammates, buddy. Like, what are you saying? You were literally front and center right next to the commissioner's trophy, right next to Dave Roberts, getting a photo op with the entire team. Like, don't say, oh, I wish I could be out there celebrating with my teammates, because you already were.
What an ass.
Good man.
What a genuine ass.
Like, how ridiculous is that?
So if we're keeping with the creepy theme of the show, what's creepy about this whole thing is like how his thought process worked, or lack of thought process for that matter.
But I can understand in the moment, though. To an extent, I can understand to an extent. I can understand you being in the locker room and just being like, "Oh, holy bleep, we just won the World Series. I want to go out there." But you have to have that mindset of being like, "No, I could put everybody in danger. I can't go out there and celebrate."
And I when I first heard about this, I'll admit that was my initial thought. Like, oh, he reacted as anybody would when they learned they won the World Series. But what completely invalidates whatever emotions he had was the fact that there were people proactively trying to stop him, who he told to F off.
Yeah.
And he went out there anyway. Yeah. So that kind of tells you everything you need to know.
And I'm not sticking up for him, because I can understand being in that moment. The situation arises like, holy cow. But to say, like, I wish I could be out there celebrating with my friends and my teammates. Well, dude, you were. But even if you want to celebrate, like, at this point, 2020, go celebrate behind closed doors. Go celebrate inside the clubhouse where nobody's going to see you. Because if you want to celebrate that badly and you want to pass along potentially a deadly virus onto people, do it like at a time where the public eye isn't like basically breathing down your neck, which is what we're doing now.
Well, right. And it raises a lot of questions right now with Halloween coming up, tomorrow. It raises a lot of questions about what people are going to have their kids doing on Halloween. Like, is it safe to send them out trick-or-treating and taking candy from, strangers, bowls on their doorsteps, or however you trick or treat? Like, there's a lot of questions surrounding this. So, I don't know. I just didn't think we would be talking about the COVID-19 effects on a holiday such as Halloween when this whole thing started on St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, I did. I had a feeling, because I heard that there was going to be a second wave in the fall.
Well, and this is the third wave now, really.
Right. I mean, we've had so many waves of this thing. So, I mean, are you guys going to even be doing anything for Halloween? Are you going to be celebrating or even dressing up?
So I do have a gig lined up for tomorrow, but at the time of recording this, I'm just waiting a negative COVID test result from after my trip in order to legally de-isolate myself from traveling to a high-risk state back to Massachusetts. So assuming I get that negative test, I will be at my gig on Saturday.
Good.
So
Good to hear.
That'll be fun. But what about you?
The fiance and I, we will be dressing up. We will be doing a couple's costume, if you will. It's not corny. It's actually very good. I'm not going to say what it is. If you want to see what it is.
Wait, did you say it's not Courtney or not corny?
No. It's not corny. It's not like.
I thought you said it's not corny. I'm like, who is it then?
It's not one of those like, hey, let's both dress up as, M&Ms and say, wow, I'm so sweet for you. No. We are actually putting in some good effort into this one. So if you want to see what it looks like, I'll post it to our social media, to the Weekend Podcast, so everybody can check that out, because that depends on if I actually grow a you-know-what to do so, because it's going to be a little embarrassing for me, but I'm going to take the challenge. I'm going to roll with it. It's going to be a good costume. We're going to go visit my family, my parents, my sister, and bring the dogs with us. They're dressing up too. We kind of have to figure out what to do for the dog still, because Comet is so big he can't fit into his Charlie Brown shirt, so we need an alternative right now. God. Luna's going to be wearing her little Halloween jack-o'-lantern dress, so she'll be looking nice and cute in that. And then we're just going to hang out and, chow down on some food and just have a good time for a little bit.
Well, there you go. You guys are doing it responsibly. So, I think so. If are you going to post photos of the pups in their costumes too?
I'll post that. Don't worry.
So then I got to commit to posting one of Bailey in her hot dog costume.
Okay, all right. She's in a hot dog costume.
Well, she is part dachshund, which is the hot dog dog.
Of course. That's good. That's a good.
We're blowing up the Weekend social media with pictures of dogs,
as we should be, and
never a bad thing.
Maybe I'll work up the courage to post what I'm wearing.
I really hope you do.
I really want to, but it's really embarrassing, and I really want to say what it is, but it's kind of going to ruin the surprise if I say anything.
I had my level of embarrassment with the first starting off the show with the roller coasters here. So
that's true.
Meet me in the middle, buddy.
When was the last time you went trick-or-treating? Do you remember? Like, how old were you? Like, when you finally realized, all right, I'm done with this thing?
God, like I don't know, like I was 14, so like 16 years ago, maybe.
Yeah, I feel like it was right around, gosh, I really don't remember. Somewhere between 12 and 14 years old.
Like early high school age?
Nah, see, I wasn't in high school. I think I was in middle school. I'll never forget one of the last times I went trick-or-treating, my friend and I we were those kids, where it says, hey, take one out of this bowl. Well, we took it all.
Oh,
I was that kid my last year of trick-or-treating.
On.
I was that kid that last year of trick-or-treating. What can I say? But one of my favorite memories, that same exact night, one of my friends hid in a tree that was right next to his house and right next to the door. So I'm sitting there on the front of his stoop and his porch before the kids come up with a mask and everything like that, just trying to play like I'm a dummy or something like that. Right? And the kids slowly come up. They're feeling a little suspicious of what's going on. They can tell something's up. I kid you not. I'm not even joking. My friend says, beware of the mummies, in this weird voice, right? It was so corny. It was very, very corny. But I thought he said, beware of the monkeys. So because of that, I'm trying to stay in a position where I don't move. And you want to talk about embarrassing and everything like that. I actually pissed my pants a little bit because I was dying of laughter on the inside. I was dying of laughter on the inside.
Were you what kind of pose was it? Was
I don't remember.
Skeleton,
no, it was
skeleton on a stripper pole, or was it something a little less risque?
It was sexy as hell, let me tell you. No, I was just sitting there, just trying to act like I was one of those like dummies or those mannequins or whatever, and my friend says beware of the mummies, and I thought he said beware of the monkeys, and I remember thinking to myself, little middle schooler here, like, what the hell was that supposed to be? And I'm dying of laughing on the inside that I actually, a little bit of stuff came out.
Oh my God. Well, That's put that in the books for quality trick or treating story.
Yeah, yeah, it was something. I feel like, you know what? I feel like we should have some fun tonight.
I do admit I am missing trick or treating a little bit. If we're after having not done it for the better part of a decade and a half.
I feel like we should do some of our own trick or treating tonight.
Yeah, I think we should. Let's surprise some people.
Do we want to surprise some people?
I think we
just
should.
go down a list of people and see if we could just say trick or treat to them and essentially see what happens from there.
We're just gonna on every show now. We're just gonna start bombing random people with phone calls and stuff.
Well, what we're doing right now is we're inviting people to our video conference here, and we'll see who decides to show up and who we can say trick or treat to. You have the power for all of this, right?
Best Halloween party ever for people who are going to be joining.
We'll see if anybody actually joins. I just want to be able to say trick or treat to somebody.
I know.
Like at least one person.
Best slash saddest Halloween party is what it's going to be.
No, it's not going to be a Halloween party. It's going to be us trick or treating, and it's going to be us finding out if people will actually open the door and give us some damn candy. And if they don't do that, well then bleep off. That's how I feel.
That's a little aggressive, but okay.
No, it's not a little aggressive. It's something that's pretty accurate.
I feel like we also, if we haven't asked them yet already, we need to find out where they stand on the ghost costume situation. Good or bad? That's I posed that to some people at work today, and I asked them. I said, "Hey, wait. In addition to the people from work, you already asked."
Yeah, I asked them. No. These are other people. I asked them. I said,
okay.
"Hey, does anybody actually dress up as a ghost for Halloween?" And everybody said no, because you don't see people dressing up as ghosts.
No, only in Charlie Brown, like we came to determine.
That was my producer, Cam Denmark. He was the one that said that.
Yeah.
He was the one that came up with that idea.
But it totally validated what we were talking about.
All right, hold on. Sending one out to my old producer, Cam. Who else can we send one to? I got somebody here. Hold on. Let me send one out here. We'll trick or treat and see what happens.
Come.
Right now, we're knocking on
the fun.
What'd you say?
I said, come join the fun.
Oh, I thought you were telling me to join the fun. I'm like, I'm already here, bro. What are you talking about? Nobody wants to join our Halloween party and trick or treat with us. I mean, I just want to. All right, screw them. We're just gonna trick them then. I know where just about most of these people live. I'll throw eggs at their house.
I was gonna ask you. Have you? So you were the little scoundrels who took more candy than you were supposed to. Did you ever do anything more aggressive, like TPing somebody's house or throwing eggs?
I never did anything that bad.
Shaving cream, any of that?
No, the closest thing I did, my uncle years and years and years ago when I was a kid, he soaped the windshield of a car, and that was that. So
wait, he what?
You've never heard of that? Like where you take a bar of soap and you write like, hey, what's up? Happy Halloween, or expletives, or draw, bad things.
Then you just wash it off?
Yeah, it just comes right off because it's soap. So my sister, because she was like 9 years old at the time, she was like, oh, I'm going to get him back. I'm going to soap his car. She took dish soap, like dishwashing soap, and tried to like write her name on it as if that was going to work.
Guess what? It didn't work, right?
What?
It didn't work.
No,
right?
It didn't. Of course, it didn't work. Why would it work?
I know I've never heard of soaping, but like I do remember, like when I was still living at home with my parents growing up, and I don't think they were not like intentionally targeted for anything, but like I guess there were kids just like horsing around in the street, and like a random egg got on my mom or my dad's, I forget whose car, but like one of their cars, and like I walked out there the next morning to go wherever, and I was like so pissed because like I was older than trick-or-treating at the time. Like, oh, these effing kids. Get off. I was saying, like, get off my
Get off
lawn
my
at the
lawn.
age of 18 or however old I was. Because I was just pissed that they, like, damaged my parents' cars.
Oh, yeah, I would be too. I remember, there were a couple of instances where people would take, like, the pumpkins that we had and, smash them down the street or whatever it may be. I mean, that was usually the worst, and to the extent of the damage that was really ever done to, like, my property or my
Right.
house or whatever it may be.
Listen, if you guys are going out trick-or-treating tomorrow, don't be a Justin Turner and just ruin everything. Just be good about it.
I'm sending out more invites. We'll see if anybody actually wants
Because
to
this is so popular right now. We're just gonna get the flood of people joining any second. Any second now.
Maybe, no, people want tricks. Bleep off all of them. Every single one of them. They all want us to just egg their house, soap everything, TP everything. That's what they want. You know what? These are probably the losers who don't even get into the Halloween spirit, okay? I guarantee it.
Those are strong words, man.
No, I bet you these are the same people who are like, candy corn's the worst thing ever. And candy corn, truthfully, is not even that bad, okay?
False. It's a bad candy.
You think so?
Yes.
How so?
It's just, I mean, it's what's so special about it?
It's not that bad. It's got that kind of like vanilla-y sort of taste to it. I think it's pretty tasty.
It's
It's not like
gross,
it's not
but
like something I'm going to go out of my way to eat all the time. I'm only going to eat it when it comes to Halloween time.
with like when you're gonna have you only have it around the same time of year when you're having pumpkin spice stuff.
Yes, which I do not indulge in. Pumpkin spice
Only
is still
the-
one of the worst things ever. That reminds me because, obviously #Halloween. Did you end up watching Hocus Pocus on your flight to Orlando? Because I saw that was a possibility that you may.
Yeah. So, and thank you to those who voted, and I apologize for completely ignoring your vote because then I came across Ford versus Ferrari and watched that instead.
You watched Ford versus Ferrari instead of a classic
So-
like Hocus Pocus.
So, yes, so I nerded out a little bit, and I knew it was like, all right, so I really should watch this so I can talk about it on the show next week. But I've been really wanting to see Ford versus Ferrari because it won all these awards.
What did you want to see?
Okay, you heard the bit at the start of the show. I got no voice, man.
I'm sorry. Continue. You wanted to watch Ford versus Ferrari because why?
Because it I forget if it won awards, if it was nominated for awards for sound design. And so I started listening to it, and like even through the crappy audio connection on the airplane and through like the regular like Apple headphones, like I was noticing all these little sound design things that made it so good. Oh, we got somebody in the lobby.
We have somebody in the lobby?
We have somebody in the lobby waiting to come in.
Who is it? Oh my god! Finally, somebody wants to trick or treat with us. Trick or treat, Cam Denmark,
Trick or
producer at ESPN
treat.
Ithaca.
Jesus, this looks, man. Nick, what is your mask?
I'm the Phantom, but I can't say of any,
can't
what I
say it
am
for
because I'll
copyright
probably get
reasons.
copyrighted, claims.
That's fair. That's fair. No, that's
Where the
absolutely
hell's
fair.
your costume?
This is my costume. I'm going to go for the stereotypical depressed grad student look. Like everybody always talks about. That's my look right now. Okay.
So how depressed are you then? Holy shit. Well, you're drinking water unless that was straight vodka.
I'm drinking
so-
water. I'm drinking water. I just had a nice dinner, a nice Italian dinner. Now, here's a question that I pose for you two, okay?
We already answered the question. A ghost is not a real Halloween costume. Come on, we talked about that 2 weeks ago.
No. You know me, Nick. You know that I have to ask a question that is completely irrelevant to the topic at hand. So I'm going to do that once again. How do we feel about a dish made up of tuna and garlic and chili?
What the hell does this have to do with
Pasta.
what the hell does this have to do with Halloween?
It has nothing to do
We're
with
here to
Halloween
celebrate
whatsoever.
Halloween and trick or treating and everything like that, and you're just blowing us off with these stupid questions.
Well, how would you feel if you got tuna and garlic and the other ingredient, like you showed up to a house and that's what they gave you instead of candy?
I would question.
Look at it that way.
I would question what neighborhood I was in.
Yeah, right.
And then second, I would probably burn down that person's house. Like, no joking.
Man,
That is what I would do. Burn it down because it just doesn't deserve to be up. You know, it doesn't deserve to be up there. But this dish was composed of tuna, chili, garlic, anchovies, and I can't think of the other ingredient. Oh, roasted red peppers.
You're literally ruining a Halloween segment, a Halloween party that we're having with each other.
That's too many random horrible flavors.
What? How is that horrible? How are they horrible?
I mean, just the anchovies thing threw me off. Just that's a horrible flavor in and of itself.
No, you got 2 fillets in there, right? By the way, Nick,
Okay.
if somebody put into my basket a tin of anchovies, I would gladly accept it. I checked the expiration date, but I would accept it.
Speaking of, hold on. Sorry to interrupt. Speaking of trick or treating, Zensky, did you ever hear about what Cam Denmark had to do last Halloween? What I forced him to do as the producer of our show.
I did, and
did.
But tell the listeners.
Okay,
yes,
so
you mentioned this.
He comes to me 2 days before Halloween, and he says, "Hey, I'm not going to be able to be on the show on Halloween. I'm not going to be able to help produce the show." Naturally, I say, "Okay, well, that's stupid because you're the producer of the show, so you've got to be here." And he tells me, "No, I can't because I've got to hand out Halloween candy." And for the first time in my life, I have to hand out Halloween candy because my mom isn't going to be there. And then he starts asking me for advice about how to hand out Halloween candy because he had never done it before. So then I say to him, if you're going to be handing out Halloween candy and if you actually want permission from me to go do this, you are going to have to do this live on the air and hand out Halloween candy live on the radio. So we got the whole setup. Everything was perfect. We had an ESPN Ithaca banner hanging there. We had a little sign that said, "Hey, you're live on the radio. Don't curse." And Cam was handing out Halloween candy as we were doing the show. So there were times where he literally would be talking to me for a few minutes and say, "Hold on a second, I gotta go get some candy." And he would just be talking to the kid, and then I would be yelling at him, and it was pure chaos from start to finish, and I loved it.
I tell you what my favorite part about that entire experience was. So the show is obviously an hour long.
Right.
And we went from 5 to 6. I would say at 6:05. In fact, I was like kind of, packing everything up, whatever. It had been drizzling for a little bit during the day, during the show. And as I'm packing up at like 6:05, torrential downpour, like absolute downpour. Thankfully, we were able to get everything on the air. But I remember like just yelling in the headphones as I'm talking to Nick, who's back in the studio, just saying like, "It's raining, bye." And I just like threw down the headphones.
Quite literally.
Into the house.
Quite literally.
It was crazy. It was a heck of an experience, though. People really liked the sign where it said, "Don't swear, we're on the air." And thankfully, they actually like followed up with that. They were actually followed it. I appreciated it. But that was a great time.
It was fun.
It's one of my favorite memories working at ESPN Ithaca.
Wait, is that actually what it said? "Don't swear, we're on the air." Did it rhyme?
Yeah.
I love that. That's fantastic.
I don't want the FCC coming after us. I don't want anything to do with any of that.
No, but I mean, just the rhyming part of it makes it that much better.
It's funny, though. Like, you would think that people would be kind of uncomfortable when they're around somebody who's on the air. Understandably so. People get, they get a little bit uneasy, whether it's television or whether it's radio, whatever.
Oh, God.
Just because they're not really used to it. But this time, people were actually fairly good with it. They were fairly calm. They were nice. Again, they didn't swear. So people were very comfortable around it. And they just kind of walked up, look at the sign. They were like, "Oh, cool." And then they saw like ESPN Ithaca. And then they had to ask me, "Do you work for ESPN Ithaca?" And I'm like, "No, I'm just a fan."
No, I'm carrying the sign for fun, guys.
Yeah, exactly. I'm dressed. that's my costume for Halloween. Is I'm dressing up as the producer on ESPN Ithaca. You know, I figured it was a good costume.
Cam, do you enjoy my setup here? It's very festive, isn't it?
I do enjoy the setup. The setup behind me looks like I'm being held hostage somewhere. So I do very much appreciate
It is the most monochrome room.
It is. It really is. I'm in my apartment, you know, the endless white
Bachelor
walls.
pad for a college student. Well,
It really is.
all right,
It really
Cam.
is.
Cam, you can leave now. We've had enough to do with you because you're asking us recipes about tuna and all this stuff.
Look, I know the recipes. I always know the recipes, but I just want to know somebody's opinion on it because I don't know if the recipe's actually good. So
It's got tuna. Don't do it.
it went together well. I made it. It was great. So no regrets.
See what I
Anyways,
deal
there you
with?
go.
This is what I deal with when he used to produce the show. Just so many self compliments, so many pats on the back, so much love for
Of
himself.
course. All right, guys.
Cam,
Happy Halloween.
goodbye. Happy Halloween.
Thank you for being on.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. Trick or treat, mother bleeper.
No problem.
You're a great guy. Well, at least we got somebody to trick or treat with.
Yes. Shout out to your producer Cam for joining us. We did for a hot second have a buddy James on, but being the tech whiz that he is, he couldn't figure out how to join, I guess.
I'm not going to say anything.
Man, you would think he was like an engineer or something. Like he would know how to work this stuff.
You would think so. You would think so, but clearly he does not. Clearly he has no idea what he's doing. Well, hey, look, even if it's just us having the fun trick-or-treating, so be it. Again, I think everybody just doesn't like Halloween, and they just don't get in the Halloween spirit. They're the ones who don't want to watch Hocus Pocus. They're the ones that don't want to eat the candy apples or caramel apples. They're the ones that probably stopped trick-or-treating at the age of 8 because they realized trick-or-treating isn't fun by that age. Well, I mean, it kind of is still. I don't know. Bunch of bums.
I mean, at what age do you think is it no longer appropriate to trick or treat? Let us know.
I would say 12 or 13.
in the comments.
Yes. Let us know. Yes.
Yeah, drop us a comment on Facebook, Instagram, wherever you get your podcast, wherever you could find this show, and we want to know what you think, and we'll discuss it more on next week's show.
And we'll also potentially see what we look like for Halloween as well. Maybe.
That is right. Yes, I'm very much looking forward to seeing your costume, and I know everybody's looking forward to seeing our dogs' costumes as well.
Everyone's looking forward to that. They're not looking forward to anything else.
That's right.
Hey, you stay classy, my friend.
You stay classy, my friend, and have a good weekend.
I am the angel of music.
Peace.
Yeah.